How are you getting out of there? Goats are dumb. Don't get goats. Oh my gosh, they're like escape artists. You never know. Like, you could set up an entire like sanctuary for them, and you think you got it all set, but then you got to watch them because they constantly are finding places to escape. And then you patch up that hole, and guess what? They find another. So that's what we're working on today, patching up some escape spots. When we first decided to turn this into our little goat sanctuary, inside, underneath this part of the barn, I don't know why, but they dug out a lot of the ground inside. So you can see we mounded up the entrance here. That way we could, there was a big, huge gap under the door, and we were trying to cover that. But then when I came in and started putting these doors, I set those kind of high, and we ended up leaving gaps under them. And at first it was no big deal. We mounded up some dirt, and that pretty well blocked the way. But over time, that dirt kind of gets knocked out of the way. It's not like the goats are digging under anything, but boy, you give them just the slightest bit of wiggle room. If they can fit their head through something, their whole body is probably going. So I am needing to somehow get stuff put up under these doors to close in those gaps. And I've got a good, I'm cheap. That's probably why it's that way in the first place. I was too cheap to do it right. So now I'm trying to patch everything on the cheap. And here's what I've come up with. I still have a pile of these old cedar posts that I chopped year before last, actually, I believe, when Homestead Aquarius had challenged me to the Minecraft challenge. I used a bunch of these to kind of build my chicken run because I was too cheap to buy T-posts or treated posts. So, hey, and it worked. It's still up. It's going. But now we're going to use these to close some gaps in the goat sanctuary. It's got a little life left in it, I suppose. I've already been using this idea in a couple of places. So here we've got one that's plugging up a door. And it's worked even for these little guys. They're still bottle feeding, but they can't even get out. Ha ha! And then whenever I find spots where the goats have, what they tend to do, I think, is they push up against this this fencing, and it causes this to bend out, and it gets to the point where they can kind of weasel their head under there, and after that they're gone. So I've been plugging those holes with this. I just kind of nailed the fencing to the post. What are you doing, Dale Bob? You think you're getting tough, don't you? But it's working. I've been, like I said, I've been meaning to get to it, and I just haven't, but we are needing it now because this little lady right here, there she goes pushing on the fence. She is just about ready to have a baby. So we're going to separate her. She's going to get this little middle paddock here for her nursery. Keep her away from these two knuckleheads. Both of these, Mammy goat, right here, Mammy goat, she was pregnant. She had twins, but she had them way early, probably a month ago. So we lost those. And then this little one here, she had one, she must have been early this morning. We've been watching, and it was sometime between bed last night and when we checked on them this morning. But she didn't try and clean it up or anything. I don't know if maybe it was stillborn, and so she just left it, or it's her first, so maybe she just didn't really know what to do. But we lost that one too, so we are bound and determined to get little Debbie goats, baby. Healthy, safe and healthy. Ain't that right, Debbie? Yeah. And I think this spot is good to go. I do need to, and in fact, this is kind of my priority. I'll get to this door whenever I get to it. They're fine. But I do need to make sure that these two doors here are secure. And to do that, I'm going to have to put some kind of a brace up against this and this. And what I need is something like this right here. I don't have one handy, but I do have some rebar. Well, it got a little too dark for the camera on my phone last night, but we're up back at it again this morning. It's kind of an overcast morning. We're probably gonna get some thunderstorms here later on. What up, Del Bob? You're not getting out. Del Bob, you done got big, huh? We're still on baby watch. Debbie has not had her little baby or babies yet. What up there, Debbie? Little Debbie cake? You need to hurry it up. I did get those two logs put in place. I've got them staked in. But this morning we're gonna be working on this door. There's a big gap under there. They can squeeze out. I find them outside quite often. Right now I've got a bale of hay up against it there, and then I've got my post hole driver, or my T-post driver, kind of wedged on the corner so they can't push that out. Here's my log that I'm going to be using. It's a little too long, so we're going to have to cut it to length and get rid of some of those stobs. 74 inches, almost exactly. And I want to make sure that I put this on the inside of the door. Show that again. Right there. Good enough. And there it is. No goat's gonna get out of that. Got one more thing I need to do though. I've got to make sure that they can't push out on this corner. And so to do that, I'm gonna use this piece of rebar, but it needs to be removable. So I'm gonna drive. This is, I actually think this is a piece of a stainless steel standing lamp. One of those lamps that stand up kind of tall, and it's actually made of 3 or 4 sections that screw together. This is one of those. So I'm just gonna drive it down into the ground, and then that will give me something for this piece of rebar to settle into. That's not enough of a gap for him to get through anything. I think we're good. All right. Yeah, this thing is getting there slowly but surely. It's just a matter of watching what they're doing and solving problems as they arise, I guess. And now we have that problem solved. I guess it's on to the next one, but that's going to be another video. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If so, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Leave us a thoughtful comment, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you'll know when to be back for more daily, sustainable living.